What's up, everybody? Matt Nuzzo hanging here at Reel and Waterman's Retreat with Brandon Scheid to talk about the Psycho. Are you a Psycho, Brandon?
Inside I am. Deep down inside I think I am, yeah, for sure.
Well, then you could ride this kite.
Yeah, you're allowed.
So this is the new 5-strut Alula helium frame, right? Helium frame
yeah,
kite.
Absolutely.
By Naish. And so they had the Nvision, which is kind of your do everything. Alula Pivot, which is your jack of all trades, suits that version of the Alula is for everyone. This 5-strut Alula Psycho is made to be ridden way overpowered and to do double loops and crazy different things like that. So tell me what's going on with the Psycho and how it's different than the Nvision and how you feel. Well, first off, that's too many questions.
No, that's enough. No, that's enough.
Let's start here. How does this kite feel when you ride it? Go.
Oh, so the first time I went out on this kite, it made me feel so confident. Like everything I asked of it to do, it did it plus a little more. And I'm not really one at this moment to really be pushing myself too hard on the water. And in my head, I'm going, I shouldn't do this, but it's so easy. Like I should probably do it because this kite is just like making things really easy that probably shouldn't be that easy. And the reason that is there's been a lot of work done to push this so that a competition rider can win a contest. Well, what happens when you want to be really high level, if you have something that's scary to use or so temperamental, it allows extreme performance. You're never gonna push yourself that hard on that. You need a comfortable platform on which to push yourself. You don't want on the edge of it. You want right in the middle so you can just like push on the meat. So what this benefit of this kite is while the best of the best can take this kite to unparalleled heights, the everyman can take the benefit of that and realize that, wow, maybe I could do I don't need to do double kite loops, but maybe I can do a single. Oh,
can I do a single kite loop? I don't know, man.
There's a bunch of guys in the slick the other day like this is like a new thing. Everyone's doing freaking giant kite loops. Like kites either got easier or people are way braver than they were before. I think their kites are getting better, to be honest with you. I mean, an average intermediate kiteboarder can probably get to the point where they're jumping 10 to 15 feet, 20 feet into the air. If you're getting into that world and you understand the technique involved to not like slack out the lines, this thing's gonna catch you really easily at 20 feet. Like Ashland was doing boogie loops like this high off the ground because it's his first ones. Like we don't want him to go to the moon. We actually want to be almost a little bit underpowered so that you're not scared.
But the kite looped and caught him.
Boom, catching him every time. And so what it gave him is confidence to try something that he's been trying to do his whole kiteboarding career that he's never done. I was like, you want to do it right now? And he's like, I guess. And he landed it in like 3 tries, like right away. And yeah, we coached him through it and stuff. But I think what we can look at with this kite is not only is it going to help the extra riders go to that next level, it's going to help the everyman rider find that confidence. And you know, you don't want to be like a psycho all the time, but you might want to unlock your inner psycho every now and again on the water. And if this can allow you to get into that space where you're like, I can push myself, I can like be that person, man, great product to offer. And I know that all the people that have used it here at Reel, I've gotten a boatload of messages because I've been demoing it in the backyard. Just like, man, this is so cool. I'm getting better jumps than I have in years. Like, what's going on with this thing? So like, we're getting a lot of external feedback that's saying like validating what's going on.
And that's important with having these performance-oriented kites, is to have them actually be user-friendly, and that's the feedback we've been getting. It's like, we're like, oh, another big air kite that's going to be really hard for everyone to ride, but then we put it on the water and everyone's like, oh my god, this kite's so easy. I'm learning new things, doing things that I normally would not do, so are pushing your levels. So with the 5-strut Alula, they have a couple things they've done with the Alula. Let's go to the actually show the seam this side. This seam is important here, right?
Yeah,
this diagonal seam.
Again, you're going to see this on all of the
Carries
kites.
through all their kites.
You're going to see this diagonal load seam. That's going to effectively transfer the steering input back here, which you can see the seam goes literally right straight in to where my wingtip is attached. So that seam is transferring that load directly up this seam efficiently throughout the kite. And then you also see here, we do have the profile lock seam on this kite that's going to allow the profile to be as robust as possible. And we have our Quad-Tex construction. So on the canopy wise, we got all the bells and whistles that you're going to look on an Nvision product. And then you come around to the other side.
You got that helium.
And you're going to see, again, our helium frame construction. You're going to see a little bit, if you have a keen eye, 9 versus 9, you're going to notice the wingtip diameter looks a little thicker in my eye.
Right.
Like, so we're seeing a little bit more response out of the wingtip because we're snapping. It's not able to bend as much. You can see we do have 5 struts, and the reason for that is this strut actually has a lot to do with creating this wingtip tension in here that you can see these diagonal lines here. Actually, that's some tension in the pre-tension in the wingtip section. That's making sure that this is always moving fast through the air. That's why it loops really good.
Right.
And also, this is working in conjunction with the wingtip to get us those robust, fast turns.
Right.
So we have a 5 strut, which is adding a little bit more weight, but guess what? A Lula weighs freaking nothing. So basically, it's not adding anything. That's the wonder of a Lula. Again, there's a lot of work going on with how do we take the advantages of the Alula and make it work for us, because I will tell you, just stiffening a kite is not
doesn't make it better. Yeah.
So you will see on this kite in particular, we have no slider on the pulley. That is a static fixed pulley, so we want a static fixed bridle, so we want the dynamicism to go away. We want user input straight to the kite. Right. We don't want the jelly, we don't want the sheet and go. Actually, what we want is we want on and off. We want on, off, because when you're off, you can build up a lot of speed and tension. You can pull the bar in and go shooting up to the moon. You want vertical load spike. That's how you get up, so that you can do like 600 loops and like fly your way down or whatever. I watched the latest big air thing. They're like double looping this way, looping back this way, flipping upside down, passing the board behind their back, and then throwing a shaka when they land and claiming it super hard. And so like, they need a lot of things to go on. And so we need vertical load spike. That's really important in a performance kite. And
vertical load spike.
And then you're gonna see
vertical
here,
load spike with the Psycho.
We had a 4-point bridle on the Pivot Nvision.
Yep.
Because we wanted to free it up.
This one's what?
Well, this one's got a 5-point, and we're locking it off a little bit more because we want drive and snap through this thing. We want it to feel stiff and performance oriented. We don't want it to feel soft. Like we kind of want that hard feel, because that's kind of where this needs to be in order to get those big dynamic maneuvers. However, for the average consumer, I'll note that when I was walking into the backyard powered the other day, I know getting off the dock is challenging. And I was like getting pulled downwind. I'm like, oh no, oh no. Well, I pushed the bar out, the kite goes away. I had such an easy time getting off the beach. And then when I got on, I pulled it all back in. I was like, upwind instantly. It was really solid. And I was like, man, I'm not even caring about double loops at all.
Psycho is good for psychos like him and old guys like me.
Dude, like I said, I don't need to do double loops. But guess what? Every now and again, I love to do a back roll hand drag kite loop transition. It feels so good. And this kite is so predictable in those moments.
And that's what we liked about the Psycho, is that it is a very high performance kite that's to that top, but it's predictable and user friendly. So Nvision's kind of
we know the 15-year-old kids that are doing the triple loops, they're not buying kites. So like, let's make some kites for people that actually are gonna enjoy these products.
If you're at a level where you're like intermediate and want to level up, you're like riding well, want to jump higher, want to get into loops, get into stuff like that, Psycho's gonna be a good choice. In the Lula setup from Naish, if you wanted to have that kind of do everything, wave, foil, like all sports you're gonna be doing, as well as jumping, then that would be the Nvision Pivot.
Yeah, so absolutely.
It's kind of the differentiating point, which is a lot hard for people to see, like, oh, it's a Lula kite. Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, and if you look at them, honestly, they have a couple different colors on them, but like without the tight eye that you have, like you're not gonna see the increase in tube, you're not gonna see the little sweep, you're not gonna see the aspect ratio, the profile difference. You're gonna be like, what's the difference between that and that? They're the same color. But there is a lot different going on in the bar, and if you're at the beach and you can put both of them up right away, you'll be like, oh, this one's way different than this one, and I get it. So it's hard to get cut through that stuff with like videos and stuff. It's like hard. But the idea is
we just cut through the feel. We told you that this one has that like and the Pivot is a lot easier and flowier.
I would say that most of the people that I demoed the kites to here in the backyard, they're riders that want to work on getting better at jumps. They want to do some kite loops. They want to be the boys in the backyard. They kind of were honing in on the Psycho as the one that they were loving. I had a really good time with it. I think for all of my variety of sessions that I did here, I found that the Nvision Pivot spoke my language a little more. I'm not doing big air as much as I used to. I just want something that's easy, dynamic, and super light, and like, great. That's all I want.
Sick. Well, you heard it there. That's as good as you can get. Thank you, Brandon.
No problem.
Want more reviews? Reach out online, realwatersports.com. Give us a call to shop, 252-987-6000. It's right over there. You go right there.
Right there.
You can stay
it's all
there.
Right there.
You can go there.
All your dreams come
go ride this lake when it blows southwest.
You come here and your dreams just happen. Dreams just come true.
See you guys on the water for the next sesh.